sponsored by Super Snail. 3 insane build mode creations and how to build them. Let's get started. Number 1 may surprise you. This is the Skibidi Toilet Factory. So first you're going to want to build yourself a giant toilet. You can go ahead and make this as detailed as you want, but I just went and made something very quick. And make sure to have a doorway like this, a little hallway, and of course the door itself. And there is your basic toilet. Now, place a patrol point on the inside of the door, and then place a large touch trigger on the inside of the door as well, clipping the door with these settings, and then connect the touch trigger to the door. Now, you're going to place that inside, you're going to place a death block on the inside too, and of course this is to make sure that players don't go in and disrupt anything inside the factory. Now, place a regular portal, and you're going to go far away from the toilet in a secluded area and place down the portal here. And make sure it's covered up as well. And you're going to place yourself a large conveyor belt. So far, if you've been doing stuff right, this is what it should look like. Now you're going to place down a bunch of trader NPCs just like this. Set each one to trader mode and use this ID. I actually made a separate Roblox account just for this dedicated character, so use it, please. Now, you're going to place another patrol point anywhere outside of the toilet factory, and then you're going to take a large touch trigger and scale it to be the inside of the hallway. And of course, make sure you use these settings. Place down a sound block and then give it these settings. Then you're going to connect that touch trigger to the sound block. Here's a little bonus detail. Place down a looper, place down a bunch of lights near the door, and then connect the looper to all the lights, and then the final step is connect the big touch trigger to the looper. When you hear the toilet flush and see the lights flash, a Skibidi toilet will spawn. Just make sure you stay away. Number 2, this is a real working cannon. Before I show you the build, I want to quickly thank my sponsor, Super Snail. Just like with Piggy build mode, if you're looking for a game with many possible item combinations and a great sense of humor, then Super Snail is for you. Super Snail is the latest idle RPG for your mobile devices. Determined to save the world, you board onto a time machine to travel 100 years back to stop the demon gods. The game is highly expressive and has a lot of charm to it, with a unique hand-painted art style. Super Snail has you exploring the lands of the past, gathering intelligence on foes you must defeat, exploring different sections of each area, and eventually having to face each of the demon gods themselves. What's most fun about the game is the vast amount of upgrades that you can just stack on top of your snail, such as equipable items, intelligence upgrades, and best of all, evolutions. Throughout the game, you can evolve your snail to make it way stronger, as well as looking cooler too. You're also able to repair and unlock new pieces of tech in your base. This game has gotten addicting to play, and if you want to try to save the future from demonkind, click the link in the description or in the pinned comment to download the game and start your epic journey. For the cannon, I used a giant cylinder, some wedge blocks, some circle blocks, and I even made the hole at the very top using a monitor offset. Next, we're going to place the fuse for the cannon, which will use this button. Then place a touch trigger on the very top, and then give it these settings. But I recommend you set this to be set to anyone. That way Piggy can use the cannon too. Place down a teleport block, give it these settings of course, and then connect the button to the teleport block, and then move it directly into the center right here. Now, place down a sound block, give it these settings alongside this audio ID, connect the button to the sound block, and then go ahead and move it directly down here into the center. Now when you go test this out, the cannon will spawn you directly on top of it. Surround the cannon with invisible blocks, just like this. And then you're going to place down a timer and make sure it is set to 2 seconds. Now you're going to go ahead and connect the touch trigger to the timer and then set the button's cooldown to 5 seconds. Now you're going to place down a bunch of teleport blocks in a trajectory-like pattern as if you're being shot out of a cannon. And just for fun, at the very bottom here, I set up a little target. Make sure each teleport block is set to these settings. Then, next to each teleport block, you're going to place down a touch trigger like so, except for the very end. And then, of course, you're going to set them to these settings. Now, connect the touch trigger to the first teleport block, and then connect that touch trigger to the next teleport block, and then connect the... you know what? I think you guys get the idea. Now, go ahead and move each touch trigger inside of each teleport block. Place down another sound block, give it these settings alongside this audio ID, and then go ahead and connect the timer to that sound block and then move it directly in. Uh-oh, we found a problem. It's shooting us out of the cannon instantly. This is why. It's directly connected to the first teleport block. Let's unlink that, and instead, let's connect the timer to this first teleport block. But wait, why is there this stuttering in midair? Well, we can fix that by placing some invisible blocks underneath all of the teleport blocks. Way smoother. Here we go. Oh, no. Number 3, Power Death Block Substitute. In the previous build mode update, when Minitoon was talking about adding in the trader NPC, he also mentioned another feature that he was planning on adding, the Power Death Block. Think of it as a death block, but you could turn it on and off. This would be amazing for giving hitboxes to certain bosses or any kind of build mode creations you want, such as a giant laser, which we're going to be building right now. So you can go ahead and detail this however you want, but just as an example, I'm making this little laser shoot off thing. We're going to go ahead and indent it a little bit, and there you go. You got your basic little laser shooter. Next, we're going to go ahead and build out our laser beam, just like so. And we're going to build our indention light and push it in slightly. Next, place down a button, change the button's press length to 4, and then place down a timer. And make sure it's set to 1 second. Now, you're going to go ahead and connect the button to the timer, and then connect the button to the indicator light. Now, you're going to connect the timer over to the laser, and let's go ahead and test this out. Make sure everything's moved in here, of course. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to add our sound effects. So for the first sound block, use these, of course. Now, connect the button to the first sound block, and give these settings to the second sound block alongside this ID, and then go ahead and connect the timer to the second sound block. Now, when we go test this out, we got a working laser. But there's one problem. It doesn't kill us. All it does is push us into the ground. That doesn't do anything. Not at all. We gotta fix that. First, we're gonna go ahead and take a touch trigger and make it the same exact size as our laser. Then we're gonna set it to these settings, and then we're gonna take a teleport block and put it reasonably in an area nearby where people are going to get hit by the laser. And we're gonna put a death block inside of the teleport block and give it these settings. Now, you're going to go ahead and place down an AND gate. You're going to connect the touch trigger to the AND gate, the timer to the AND gate, and then finally connect the AND gate itself directly over to the teleport block. Now, you're going to move this directly inside to give the laser its hitbox, and now, it's a working laser. Want more quick and quality Roblox content? Subscribe.